Looking back at SWOT, and we've already looked at the strengths and the weaknesses, we're just actually going to have a look at the opportunities and threats. And the opportunities and threats are things which are external to the organisation. So if we think about opportunities, well, these are the favourable conditions which usually arise from the nature of the changes in the external environment. And the organisation needs to be very much aware of the problems with business strategy to be able to respond to it. It's important that the business can exploit any opportunity to its advantage. And there is perhaps possible new markets, technology advances, perhaps improved economic factors, or the failure of its competitors. So Mullins says that opportunities provide the potential for the organisation to offer new or to develop existing products, facilities or services. And Hannigan goes on to argue that the exposure of a weakness may give rise to opportunities in the sense that the exposure of a weakness may be seen as an opportunity for development. I mean, after all, if the company's been able to make a profit with poor customer care, by improving it, there's the opportunity to increase its position and profit. So actually organisational opportunities can be exploited to generate higher performance and potential profit. If we consider threats, and threats could be perhaps argued as the unfavourable situations arising from external developments which could endanger the effectiveness and the operations of the organisation. And these could come from many areas, and perhaps it could be as a result of things like legislation, political unrest, economic issues, perhaps things like the increased import prices, changes in demand because tastes have changed, competition, perhaps competitors come out with a new product, and the actions of pressure groups. And if you remember, we've been talking about pressure groups in class. So it's really important that the organisation has the ability to respond to changes and to plan for any significant changes which may be on the horizon. It's so essential that an organisation is prepared for them. It's actually watching what's going on. And in fact, these are areas which increase the difficulty of an organisation performing at a high level. But the ability to meet and to overcome these threats successfully is one of the strengths of a company, and it can separate those organisations which survive from those that don't. So the ability to meet and overcome threats successfully is a strength of a company, and actually that can separate you from one who survives and one that doesn't. And that's a quote from Hannigan. So to summarise this, a SWOT analysis can be very effective, and it's very useful in helping evaluate the organisation. It's one of many ways of examining effectiveness and performance, and again it can be very effective. But there is a warning to it though. It does have to be completed objectively, or actually it'll give you a misleading analysis. Frank argues that a SWOT analysis is a useful way of summarising information, but it's not a strategy. It's more like a frame of reference, and it's actually perhaps from that frame of reference that strategy is built. And Cole argues that when evaluating strengths and weaknesses, it's important not to simply ask what the firm is good at, but what it is better at than its competition. So not what are we good at, but what are we better at than our competition. And we'll actually be doing some group work and some more work on SWOT in our classes this week.